Another Russell causing problems.
All right, man. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 25 of the Double Dribble Podcast. As always, I'm Destin.
And I'm Drew.
It's Drew, man, and
Um,
man, it's over for my Lakers, man. Over. Well, not technically, but no team in NBA history has ever came back down from 3-0, down from 0-3. Um, these games they've been pretty competitive. One, 2, and 3, pretty competitive. Just Denver, they been better clutch situations in the fourth quarter. They've been pulling away with these wins. Hold on, I forgot. Let me put this thing on here. Okay, cool. So
looking
yeah,
like me after last week, man.
yeah, but we ain't even eliminated yet. So
Yeah.
but
Well, I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, about to be,
Yeah.
maybe 24.
So you're saying there's a chance, Dustin? You're saying
I mean,
there's a chance.
like it's literally like a 0% chance because nobody has ever came back. So I wonder what the I don't know what's the odds on the Lakers come back. I got to look into it.
And there was once a time when nobody came back from 3-1 in the finals. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that vividly.
Hey,
But at least they had
no,
a
this ain't that
they had
LeBron. I'm sorry.
yeah, this ain't the same LeBron,
No.
and they even that 2016 Cavs team they had a suspension that helped them out with that one too. So you know,
Yeah,
they got to be
there
some.
were some extraneous factors.
Mhm.
The suspension, the Boga injury kind of helped somewhat, but yeah, but nah, either way, like we haven't really seen like LeBron really hasn't had a good game to his standards at least yet. Maybe it's gonna be game 4, but like he gonna need to string together a bunch of them coming up if they're gonna
Yeah,
they're gonna pull it off.
I think it's possible for them to win. I think it's entirely possible for them to win Game 4.
Yeah,
But
I
I
think
think
that they will. I think they will win game 4.
but
They will.
I mean when they go back to Denver, I mean
Oh
the
yeah,
crowd is different up there. The altitude is different, and I just feel like at this point, just watching these teams, I feel like Denver is a better team. Like I think Jokic is a better player than AD. I think AD is great. Still a top 10 player in the league to me, but I do think Jokic is arguably the best player in the league. Um, Jamal Murray is playing at a higher level than LeBron is, especially at LeBron's age, and he coming off that tendon injury. They other than I think Austin Reeves has been really good and consistent for us,
he's
but
been he's been like
yeah,
really good. I think he's what they say. I think they said something like he was the only Laker in history to have 5 3-pointers, and I think it was like 5 three
I don't
pointers
know.
and like 20 points in like 3 consecutive games in the playoffs, something like that.
I don't know if I've seen that graphic.
Yeah, it was something. It was something like that. I want to say it was like 20 points and 5 threes
Mhm.
in consecutive games, or like I think it was 3 consecutive games,
Yeah,
something along that.
but it just some of the like watching the Nuggets. It don't matter how good of a defensive team the Lakers have been. They have counters for everything. Like the Lakers throw at them defensively. Like they run a successful pick and roll with their big man, their 7-footer as the ball handler, and their point guard as the screener. And it's like it's nightmares to try to guard. Jamal Murray's shot making. We're gonna talk about Jamal Murray a little later, but Jamal Murray's shot
Oh
making
yeah,
been off the charts. Um, they've been getting out of transition, hitting their threes at a high clip. Porter Jr., KCP, even Bruce
Bruce
Brown.
Brown. Yeah,
Yeah, Bruce Brown been a what's that? Like a Swiss Army knife off the bench. He's doing everything defensively, rebounding, transition, hitting threes. They just a complete team, and they very well coached. And it's been very impressive to see their growth like throughout the years and the additions they've added. They stole KCP from us, but it's all good. But
Nah, y'all didn't value him enough. That's what it was.
yeah, we didn't. And he's been great for them. And like when I watched him, I was like, man, it's their time. Like when you watch like every like it comes a point in time when like it's a time for a team to rise up, and it's been fun watching them. I can't even be real like mad like that we losing to this team because that's a team I respect, and it's cool. I knew we could lose the series. I didn't think we was going to go down 3-0, but um yeah, nah, they've been fun as hell to watch, and it's real cool watching how how they've improved.
Yeah, I've been more surprised that like I mean I expected them to be an issue for y'all to guard,
Mhm,
especially like Jokic and what he's capable of doing as a playmaker and that 2-man game that he has with Jamal Murray. But I thought y'all would take advantage of them more defensively.
mhm,
Their like I feel like y'all have let them off the hook a lot in this series so far. As far as like they're not a great defensive team, but
mhm,
they've been able to get by more than they should. And a part of that just comes down to making shots. Like a lot of guys have making shots, but yeah, I feel like that like some of that has been on on AD and LeBron for settling too much at certain times in the game. Um,
mhm.
but yeah, and now they're in a position of where we never seen anybody come back from it. But I thought like game 3 that they was gonna be like they were come out and they were gonna being back at home, being in LA, have a comfort zone, be able to have an efficient shooting night at least from 3. Didn't happen though, and then Jamal Murray got it cooking in that second half, and he's really been to me. This is one of the things I would say is that Jamal Murray to me, like when I was looking at the Nuggets, like for years now, I always thought that they couldn't win with Jokic as the guy. But when I was really thinking about that, I was thinking more of like as the primary scorer. I feel like they needed another guy to be
Mhm,
that primary bucket getter. Because I feel like
mhm,
in a playoff series, I feel like just having a big guy do that is not going to be enough. I feel like you need that perimeter threat, especially in the current modern NBA we got.
mhm.
And I didn't think they had that until Jamal Murray kind of emerged a little bit in that bubble, but then he got the injury, and now this year he's back and he's been there. You could very well make the case that he's been their best player in this series. You could very well make the case. Um,
Yeah, you definitely can't make a case.
yeah, he hasn't. He's not their best player. Jokic is the best
Yeah,
player,
he
but
not.
this series specifically, he's averaging 35 a game,
Yeah, and if you
like
look at
35.
each game, I mean, I thought Jokic was their best player in game one, but in
Yeah,
game two,
2 and
I probably
3,
say it was Murray. In game
and 2
three,
and
I'd say it was Murray.
Yeah.
Mhm,
And even like in game 1, like down the stretch when the Lakers were making it interesting, like y'all had a
mhm,
little run, like Jamal hit some crazy shots to kind of seal the deal or keep y'all at bay. And he's really done that in each game. Like when it's been a relatively close game or when y'all were up and then they were coming back, he's been timely with the shot making. And it's been not just been like, timely buckets, but like crazy difficult shots he's made too, step
mhm.
backs, falling away. He had that shot here in Denver where like LeBron was all over him and he just like threw it up. He
And
didn't
he
even have
said,
his feet
was
set.
that the one when he said bang? Like he looked at he looked at Mike Breen. I think he said bang.
Yeah, and then like he looked at LeBron like he was like, and LeBron was like, you know
Oh, you
what?
talking about game one? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah. That was
yeah.
that was look, but
Yeah, that was some.
yeah,
I mean,
maybe
he's been
he been looking
he's
like
been
Michael
hella
Jordan, so
he's
maybe
been hella lucky this whole
yeah.
series though. So I mean, yeah, he's playing out of his mind. He's having the best series probably of his life. Like he's averaging what 35, 7, and 6, I think, on
Something like
crazy
that.
percent efficiency. 52% from the field, 45% from 3 on 11 attempts. Like man, he's just like
That's
he
crazy.
playing out of his mind. Um, that to me, and go before the series, I was saying like I don't. I feel like Jamal Murray's play is going to be the difference in the series, and
He
if he
did.
plays like he's capable, I think he's capable of doing like this. But if he played great consistently, he blew it out the water. Then yeah, I think that the Nuggets are going to win. I just didn't think he was going to do it consistently. I thought he was going to have some games where he's, you know, a little bit off, where he's maybe 7 for 16 or 8 for 20 or something like that. and he hasn't really had any game close to that. He's been, ridiculous. And if he had some of those games, it could easily be 2-1 the other way, easily.
Yeah,
But
especially like
but
that
it.
fourth quarter he had in game two, that start he had,
Mhm.
um, last game was crazy. Um, let me see something. Well, since we I don't know, we can, yeah. So that's what we about to talk about Jamal Murray even more because this dude's insane. He deserved to be talked about.
Yeah.
So hold on, I had some names for you, and I don't know if you remember like Cecil before the season started.
Damn,
He
man.
he was high on Jamal Murray, like it
How
was
I forget
crazy.
all about this.
Yeah, but
Man.
he said Jamal Murray was gonna be a top 5 point guard
What's funny
by
is he was dead wrong as far as the regular season goes.
yeah,
But God, like, damn, as far as the playoff goes, like, have we
man.
seen? Matter of fact, now this is making me think about something else. When's the last time we seen such a difference in level of play between a player in the regular season and the postseason?
Maybe
Because he's
Jimmy
been
Jimmy
playing.
Butler.
I think this is even bigger gap than Jimmy Butler, though. I mean,
Yeah,
Jimmy Butler would be the closest, but
yeah.
like he's playing at a greater level between like he's playing like at a superstar level right now, right? And I don't even think he was an all star this year, right? No, he wasn't, right?
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, right,
He
right.
wasn't.
And he definitely ain't making no all NBAs. That ain't
No,
happening. So Jimmy Butler is an all NBA player. He's he's a star. He's been an all star. I think, yeah. So like he's gonna, he's Jimmy Butler's going from like a star level, all NBA level to superstar, in the playoffs. But Jamal Murray is going from a good starting, quality starting point guard who
hmm
with potential to playing like a superstar, averaging 35 points a game in the Western Conference Finals. Like what? Yeah, that's
crazy.
that's crazy. I'm trying to think. Like you probably got to think about it historically too. Like how many players have had this level of play? Because I don't even like what was he even averaging in the regular season? I don't even think it was like.
I think he was about like 20 points a game or something like that. But
Yeah, I think he was averaging 20 exactly 20 points a game during the regular season, and he averaging 28 points a game in the playoffs.
sheesh.
Crazy, man.
All right, so look, I got let me see how many names I got for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Man, we actually should get Cecil on here because I'm sure like
I,
he
I'm trying. I want to get him.
man,
I want to get him on here, but
we have to get him on here. Like whenever like next time we check in on this series if it's still even going. But yeah, we gonna have to get him on here and
yeah, but. All right, cool. I'm about to see if I can get him the link real quick.
but yeah he
But I got some names for you, and I want you to tell me if you would take this guy or Jamal Murray. All right, give me
mm,
just a second though. Let me get this link sent out.
it's about to be some highly overreaction stuff we about to do right here.
I mean, yeah, but I mean,
You're right, but like, hey, he's doing it when like in the biggest moments. But
exactly.
recent recency bias about to hit crazy right now. So
Facts. Give me just a second. Mm, Okay.
Trey Young or Jamal Murray.
Well, I'm gonna start. I'm
Joe,
gonna start at the top. I'm gonna start at the top at the point. Stop at the top of the point guard list. All right. So would you rather have um Luca or Jamal Murray?
Luka,
Okay. Steph Curry or Jamal Murray?
Seth,
Jamal Murray or Dame?
Dame,
Okay.
Dame.
Thought about it a little bit, but okay.
I mean, just like the age factor, mostly that, and like I don't think that Jamal Murray's better than Dame, but I'm really just thinking like I don't know. I feel like if like he's like what he's like 24, 25. He could probably do this for another
Maybe.
He's 26, and
Mm.
but yeah, no, it's Dame. It's Dame.
All right,
I'm not
so
gonna go.
Kyrie or Jamal Murray?
See, now you got me thinking about
Ooh,
some other
think
stuff. Like
about it.
Kyrie is
Okay.
better, I
Let's
think,
let's
but like,
who's better at basketball? Like,
yeah,
cause
Kyrie is
'cause
better at basketball, but like, I'm thinking about, I'm like, uh, how
you
much is
thinking about
this?
the off court stuff?
Yeah, I'm thinking about like the other like factors, like, because I mean, I feel you got to factor that in too, right? I don't know.
I mean,
If we're just talking about basketball, then yeah, I guess Kyrie,
yeah,
but like,
just basketball.
and I'm also got to think about it, like he is a second option doing this technically, even though he's been playing like
Mhm.
at times like the best player. So yeah, I'm not gonna overreact too much. Kyrie.
Kyrie, all right, cool. So that's four. Now, see, after those four right there, because I picked all those four over Jamal, but these next names, I start to get a little. Mm, okay, so would you rather have Jamal Murray or Drew Holiday?
If I'm thinking about it this way, like if Drew Holiday was on the Nuggets right now, and this how this series would be, you know what? No, I'm gonna say Jamal Murray because Drew Holiday's been he's been very questionable at times, and he's in like not just this year, but in the playoffs in the past. He's had like a lot of moments where it's like he's not really giving you enough production, and this year was really bad. Like he wasn't giving you. I mean, he was getting lit up by Jimmy, and he wasn't giving it to you on the other end either. He was like he was wilding this year, but he did even the year they won the championship with the Bucks. Like Drew Holiday had a lot of moments where like perfect example is like that Nets series. At that Nets series, they were damn near about to get they're about to lose that series really because Drew Holiday was underperforming heavily. That was another part of the
You talking
reason
about
why.
a couple years ago?
Yeah, and the year they
Uh-huh.
did win the championship, like Drew Holiday really was underperforming a lot in that series. They got out of it though, largely because of the injuries. But like even with the injuries, one of the reasons why it was so why the Nets were still in position to have a chance to win or were up and controlling that series because Drew Holiday was underperforming heavily, and he ended up hitting some shots like clutch like in that game 7, but he was he been very questionable. Jamal Murray's definitely had bigger playoff moments, I would say. Even though we can talk about like specific clutch moments you can give to
Yeah,
Drew Holiday,
because
but like
I remember that key steal in that game
yeah,
5.
yeah, but
Yeah.
like but that's if you're just kind of judging everything after the fact and you're just looking at like he was clutch at this moment and they won the game.
Mhm,
But if you forget all the things that how he was playing prior to that moment,
mhm.
he was a big part of the reason why it even got that close in the first place, or why they almost lost in the first place. And
Yeah,
so,
that's the only thing with Drew. Like a lot of times in the playoffs, he's very inefficient as a scorer,
yeah,
especially as like a number two option on the team, which is a bit problematic. He does bring you a lot defensively
yeah, absolutely,
and playmaking wise, but um, yeah, I guess this one is pretty close actually to me.
yeah,
I guess it depends on the makeup of your team.
yeah.
Um,
I agree. I think on
and,
this team though, it would have to be Jamal Murray.
mm,
But yeah, it is tough when you think about it that way, like
mm.
the makeup of the team. But but yeah, I feel like this. I feel like if Drew Holiday was on this team, y'all would probably. I think y'all would probably be up 2-1. Honestly,
And Drew Holiday was on the Lakers,
on the Nuggets.
on the Nuggets.
If you swapped him out with Drew Holiday with Jamal Murray,
Mm,
I think that y'all would be up in the series. Um, because I don't. I
yeah,
feel like he would have had some of that 6 for 19 shooting night.
yeah, yeah,
He would have
and
had that.
even like
Yeah,
Jamal Murray, he started off like bad in game 2, like shooting bad.
yeah,
But once they got to the fourth quarter and they had D'Angelo Russell on him for whatever reason, and once he saw a couple of them fall with D'Lo on them, it didn't matter who was on them. If you put Schroeder, LeBron, Vanderbilt, AD, any of our best defenders, nah. Once he
yeah.
saw a few go in, it's few people that get hotter in the league
And when
like him
exactly? And when do
especially
we
in the
really
playoffs.
see Drew Holiday like get hot and go off crazy offensively in the playoffs.
Rarely, rarely.
Rarely. Like he probably doesn't even do it twice in a series, right? He maybe
Mhm.
does it once, maybe, right? So it's like, yeah, I don't see him having games like this. Definitely not 3 in a row. But yeah, I don't even think he does maybe 2 games back to back like this
Mhm.
in a playoff series. Same situation, even with Jokic. Because a lot of what Jamal Murray was doing wasn't just, oh, Jokic is just like, force feeding him easy buckets. He's been doing a lot of self creation for himself. So, um, yeah, I'm actually going to probably say Jamal Murray. And age is going to be on his side as well in this factor, too. So, yeah, I'm actually probably take Jamal Murray. This is heavily influenced by this playoffs, but you know what? Like before the injury, I probably would have felt more confident in saying that after he had the injury and it made me kind of just like curious how he was going to eventually come back and what he was going to look like. True, but I feel like
Uh-huh.
who would fill that spot though if Drew wasn't giving them that offensively, where were they going to get it from? I mean, they were going to have MPJ shoot more. Aaron Gordon really ain't like that. I feel like it's kind of necessity for them to have that production. They need that co-star to be able to get buckets and put up 25 plus a night, um, especially in the playoffs. With like Jokic can get his, but if they're not getting that other production, in this case, the primary scoring production has been from Jamal Murray right now. They're going to be losing this series. With Drew, it's just you can't count on him to do that. Yeah, he can lock in defensively, but sometimes it
Mhm.
just that ain't enough. We saw what Jimmy Butler was able to do. Um, I could easily see if Drew Holiday's in this series, he's not outplaying LeBron. Even this current LeBron, I don't think it's happening. I think this current LeBron is still outplaying Drew Holiday. Um,
Yeah. I think
and
it's
so,
I I think this is a very good comparison. I don't I'm leaning I I don't want to have recency bias, but I guess it depends on the makeup of your team. Like you watch the Bucks, they're heavily dependent on their defense and um like their playmaking from their big three really like Giannis, Middleton, and Giannis. They three main playmakers, and they're basically a defense first team. So if you putting Jamal Murray on the Bucks, I feel like Drew Holiday will be better in that situation. But for the
yeah,
Nuggets,
yeah, I would agree with that.
and it's rare, and I think at this point, I think it may be safe to say because I had some evaluations. I do think the Nuggets gonna end up winning the championship this year, and they were I think a top. They were like 15th in defense or something like that this year, and that's rare. Like usually, a championship team they have like a top 10 defense, but the Nuggets shot making and um just being unguardable, especially with Jamal Murray playing this efficient, is what kind of separates them, and I think that's gonna put them in that championship threshold. And if you replace that with Drew Holiday, yeah, he gives them more better point of attack defense, but I don't think it it um creates the separation, whereas how Murray boosts their offense because Drew Holiday, although he's a great perimeter defender, he's only as good as the people that's behind him with Brook Lopez and Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's another thing that helps make that defense so good. So if Drew Holiday is there for perimeter defense, well, yeah, he got Jokic behind him, so it's like, yeah, it's like, I mean, he's good, but um, I think you would rather have that 1-2 punch that play perfect with each other offensively. They have great synergy, great chemistry, like one of the most unstoppable pick and rolls, the most one of the most unstoppable inverted pick and rolls I've ever seen in my life. Like you got the point guard setting the pick for the center, which is insane. They both can shoot from the outside, and Murray plays off Jokic beautifully. Like, so I don't know. I guess it depends on the team you want. But for the Nuggets, I'd rather have Jamal Murray over Drew Holiday, personally.
Yeah.
So I got to
On the Nuggets, though, one of the like you are right about that. I was thinking about that actually the other day, like how like they are one of those. They're going to be one of those exceptions, like having a lower sub average defense.
mhm.
I mean, we'll see. That could end up winning it all. I know. I think a part of that has also been because the way the Western playoffs ended up breaking out, just because of how crazy it's been this year with kind of every team almost having like two different seasons in a way. A lot of teams, except for the only team that really didn't have two different seasons, was the Nuggets. Low key, the
Yeah.
Nuggets have been the same team like from beginning to end, but every
Mhm.
other team kind of had like a bad, either a good start that fell off to a lower second half, or a bad start to the season, and then they picked it up.
Mhm.
And so like they didn't really end up going up against like any great defensive teams. I mean, the Lakers are probably the best defensive team, and the Lakers aren't a great defensive team. Like they're good defensive team
Yeah.
this year. Um, and so like in a way, like they didn't really have to. That wasn't really an issue for them because they also, I mean, like the competition I think kind of broke in a favorable way in a way because it's just been a unique year, and it goes and offensively as well. Um, but yeah, the question for that is going to be the Celtics. The Celtics are going to be able to come back, and because you just said you have the Nuggets winning this the championship. Now
Yeah,
we can go
I
right in.
think I think
We can go
it
right
just
into it. Do you think that they're gonna win the championship because they're gonna end up getting Miami, or do you think even if they get Boston, they're gonna run through Boston?
give me just a second.
Because
I, um I think
we can get right into that.
it's something that kind of open my eyes when I watched the game yesterday, and the Lakers, who I believed in ever since like we made the trades. Um, is it's something important about being legit and whole and together and having that synergy throughout the entire season. Whereas when the Lakers, they kind of had to like salvage their season, and I'm proud of them. Like I know we about to lose, about to flame out. It's all good. We defeated the Warriors, so that's all that matter to me. Well, that's not all that
Thank you.
matter, but that's cool.
Hey, it's important. All right,
I'll take some
pack them up.
satisfaction in that. Um, but it's something that I come to realize that the Nuggets, they've been this good the entire season for a reason. The Celtics, they've had their up and downs. I mean, they have more ups than downs, but they've been kind of inconsistent, especially in this playoffs. Um, Miami, I think they're a really well coached team. Like I say, Miami has two superstars when they get in the playoffs. That's Jimmy Butler and Eric
And Coach
Spoelstra
Spo, I knew you
and
gonna
Coach
say it.
Spo. But I do think um
Bam though, I
Denver,
gotta give Bam props. He's actually started to pick
yeah,
it up. Like he's
Bam,
actually
Bam,
playing. He's been
yeah,
playing like a second star of recent.
yeah,
Finally,
yeah.
but yeah,
Bam has started to play really well, especially in that last game. But when I watch Denver, they just too whole, too complete of a team. The defense hasn't been as bad as I thought it would be, and their offense, man, they have like several counters to a Lakers defense who I thought could compete with them. And the Lakers defense hasn't been horrible. I think it's been pretty good on Jokic, but I mean, with the shot making of Jamal Murray, their plays in transition, Michael Porter Jr.'s efficiency, KCP's efficiency shooting from three, Aaron Gordon not being able to shoot, but able to do a lot of the other things on the boards, dribble handoffs, defense, whatever the case may be. And then they have the best player in the league, in my opinion, Nikola Jokic. I think they take out any one of those teams in the East personally, and it's something about having that togetherness. Being, I think that's something what the Lakers may have missed. I know that like a lot of the players that they traded for in the Russell Westbrook trade haven't really come to play in this series, and I think it's something special about having that unit throughout the entire season, going through training camp together, where it's kind of like learning on the fly. And I think the Lakers have did a good job. At least they made the play in, made the playoffs. One in the first round, one in the second round, and those players stepped up. At least Vanderbilt and D'Angelo Russell. And this Western Conference Finals hasn't really been the case, but we have had some Rui and Austin Reeves step up for us. But that's something that I noticed. The Lakers are like a salvage team, which was kind of on a bit of a Cinderella run, and they had like the talent to try to pull it off, but not is very unlikely. Whereas the
this
Nuggets,
goes
they a real complete team who has been like this the entire season. I know we could be beat. I didn't think it was gonna be 3-0, but that's something that I realized, and that's why I choose that's why I got Denver. It don't matter who come out the East. That's why I got Denver.
This goes back to my one of my four criterias right here for winning
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Give it to it, Drew.
Oh yeah, so it was talent,
Mm-hmm.
it was health, experience, and continuity. That fourth one, the Nuggets got clear massive advantage over the Lakers in the continuity one. I would say talent. I thought I would have said the Lakers would have the edge, but I would say it was close.
Mm-hmm.
I would give the Lakers the edge. Health, it's the Nuggets. They really haven't
Hey,
had any
Dev,
health
you
issues
glitching.
all year.
Your mic was tripping. Try to fix that for us real
But yeah,
quick.
and then experience. The only one the Lakers really had a clear advantage on was experience. That was it. Um, but like if they were all relatively close, but except for the continuity. And sometimes you could overcome it. I think that's a factor that they weren't able to overcome. I mean, they also a lot of guys that they're counting on role players that haven't been there in that situation. So in a way, they don't have the experience of the role players. You know, like the Nuggets have probably more experienced role players, you might say.
Yeah, and they have
Um,
players who have played together like throughout the years, like Murray,
yeah,
Michael Porter, Jokic,
KCP, he has the experience from playing with the
K-
Lakers, and yeah,
KCP, and he had this
hmm
is first year with the Nuggets, but he's like a perfect role
yeah,
player that you want. Aaron Gordon, who's with the Nuggets last year, a shoe fit with Nikola Jokic. Mike Malone, who's been that coach for years, who's been establishing his system. Bruce Brown, another perfect fit Swiss Army knife role guy. And
the
that's
only
a
continuity, yeah, the only continuity with the Lakers is really LeBron and AD, and
yeah.
then like somewhat Schroeder, kind of,
Yeah,
but not
and
really. Yeah.
Austin Reeves as well. He was there last year. So and the leap he's made has been has been it's a bit shocking. I thought I was reading a lot that he was doing like 3 a days in the off season and dog he's been a model of consistent. He's been a beast and it's been great to see. I hope we pay him. We gotta keep Reeves. Don't learn from the mistake we made with Alex Caruso. We
All
gotta
right,
pay this white
Utah.
guy.
Utah put out that poison pill contract.
Utah,
Poison pill. That
Utah from the give Austin Reeves 150 million
they about
dollars.
to give him one of those classic Jeremy Lin contracts that Morey gave Jeremy Lin when he was on the Knicks. Only the money done gone up so much that it's gonna be like twice as much.
I do. I
Do you
got some
remember?
more. I got
Yeah.
some more
Oh
names
yeah.
for you.
Go ahead.
We're still talking about Jamal Murray. Would you rather Jamal Murray or Trey Young?
See, Trey Young is doing everything as the best player on his team, though. His production that he's having,
That's the
and
bit that's the bit of a caveat when we want to compare Jamal Murray to some of these other point guards.
yeah. But the
Is
more I think about it, like I have such an issue with like counting on Trey Young as
bro,
my best player.
dog, I'm
Like
thinking the same thing,
I
bro.
just like I just don't trust him. He's just way too volatile of a scorer. Like it's just not sustainable for me. I would be shocked if this man ever won a championship as the best player on his team. Like shocked. Like it would be stunning to me if like
Yeah,
he took a team all the way each round into the finals and he was the best player on the team. I just can't see it. Um, Jamal Murray, I don't know if I can see it either, but Jamal Murray's at least had like this type of series that he's having right now. He's like I said, I think he's been the best player in the Western Conference Finals. Um,
I agree.
do I think that if Trey Young was in the same situation, do I think it would be going the same way? I don't think so. I feel like he just so I think he would have had one of these games though. I think he would have. I think they probably would. He
Yeah,
probably would have had one of these three games, but
but
I feel like he would have had some other.
and they go Dev a Huck. They're from Atlanta. He a Hawks fan, but the thing is though, I feel like Trey he gives up a lot more on the other end, and he gives
Yeah,
and
That's
I,
facts.
and the is one thing about Trey Young that I dislike, and this is the same with Luca to me, but Luca he's way more efficient, and you have to have the ball in his hands.
playing
With
off
Trey,
ball. Yeah,
with Trey, that's a bit of a problem, especially playing how the Nuggets play with Jokic. Like you have to run in transition.
Cut.
When you don't have the ball, you have to cut. You have like Jamal. He posts up. He runs the screener role sometimes as a screener. Like his different levels of versatility playing with the Nuggets, whereas Trey Young, as effective as he is, how great of a passer, playmaker, scorer, all he is, it's all with high usage, with high time of possession, having the ball in his hands.
Who you
With
think?
Jamal, he's doing everything as kind of like a combo type guard, but he's a point guard, and I think that versatility, man, it's I don't know, that makes this comparison a bit shaky.
Yeah, I mean,
Nah,
I would feel like,
I agree.
yeah, no, I
My,
mean,
my
I
fault.
think
My
like if
fault.
it's just,
You
oh, no,
good?
you good now. I was just saying, I think if it's like a straight up swap, if we're just talking about swapping Jamal Murray and Trey Young on this team, then yeah, I'd definitely say Jamal Murray. But I do got to think about it a little bit more when I think about swapping them,
Because I
like as
think
the best player.
Trey is more of a like Trey is a better like
Yeah,
offensive engine.
yeah, he's a superior playmaker.
Yeah,
But like,
but Jamal, I mean, like with this team, it's like I don't know.
Oh,
I would
fun
probably
fact: Jamal
yeah.
Murray used to play center when he was older. That's why he's so good at posting up, because he's always the center
hmm,
when he was growing up. So that's why he's so crafty and he's good at posting up. Just wanted to say that.
Oh, I ain't know that, man.
I know that. Huh.
That's a good fact. I didn't know that at all. But yeah, he definitely has the versatility of scoring at all three levels, and his efficiency. I think, especially with Trey, I think Trey is efficient. He had a down year in terms of efficiency this year, but I mean Jamal just like the spot up shooting,
Well, and then
pull up shooting, the mid range, the post game. He has more size, and I mean I'm not saying he's a great defender, but he's not a clear negative like Trey Young is at all. You know, like you can't switch Jamal on LeBron James or something, but he can.
Oh, I
Yeah,
feel like if Trey was on that Nuggets team in the series, I feel like y'all would be attacking him every time with
yeah.
LeBron, like OD.
Imagine like Trey
Um,
and Jokic, um, guarding like a pick and roll or something like that,
man,
bro. Yeah, that'd be pretty great. I think Jamal's size definitely gives him that edge, defensively, and you know, I can't firmly say I'll take Trey Young over Jamal Murray. I'm gonna say that. I don't know if I'm living in the moment or whatever, but what you think, Dev? I know you in Atlanta. I know you a Hawks guy. You there, Dev?
the
I think you're on mute.
oh yeah, Dev, you muted.
Hey, it's all good. He get that situated. So look,
Hey Dev,
yeah,
yeah,
I said,
I was unmuted
can
you.
you hear me?
Yep.
hey, my boy pulled
I
up
agree with everything
finally.
y'all said though.
Hey, y'all can hear me? We good?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man, we hear you.
You been ducking that smoke, man. I ain't hear from you in about a year.
Hey, it's been a minute, man. I already know it.
Yeah,
But
man. I know. Yeah, man.
like,
What you think about the Lakers, man? I know you see I got my shirt on. I'm still repping, but
yeah, for sure. But first, hold on. Let me say this first. I appreciate what y'all boys doing. I watch y'all show. I stay tuned in because you love everybody love the hot takes and the skipping Shannon and all that. But
yeah,
but y'all boys know what y'all talking about. So I stay tuned in for sure with y'all.
yes,
And
sir.
I had to hop in because I ain't like what you said when you said Jamal over Trey. Trey led the league in assists. I don't like that. I ain't like that.
I said,
I
look,
ain't like.
no, I didn't say Jamal over Trey. I said Jamal over Trey for the Nuggets.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, on the
got
team.
you,
Yeah.
got you, got you. I
Yeah,
ain't, I ain't hear that part.
yeah, for
I
the Nuggets. Yeah.
I might have jumped the gun. That's probably what it was. But I heard that. I ain't like.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know if if I'm gonna choose a guy for the best player on my team, like from an 82 game standpoint, I'm gonna choose Trey. I mean, I feel like he's more reliable. Trey, he's never really hurt. He's an offensive engine, like I said before. He gonna get you the points, he gonna get you the assists. He gonna basically pretty much carry the offense. With Jamal, everything he's doing is off of not everything, but most of it's off the gravity of playing with a guy like Jokic, who's one of the best passers, not just in the league, probably of all time. One of the best playmakers, the best center, probably the best player in the league, and he's playing with him. So I mean, I guess that's a bit of a caveat, but if I'm just talking about who I want on the Nuggets, I mean, with Jamal's level of efficiency, shot making, shot creation, everything, and his size, I don't know. I don't. I probably would take him over Trey just for the Nuggets. Like that's how good this dude has been, especially in his playoff translation has been insane. What you say he went from 20 to 28 points?
Yeah, he was averaging 20 in the regular season. He's averaging 28 in the playoffs, and he's averaging 35 in the Western Conference Finals right now. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like,
and Trey, like when you watch Trey in the playoffs, and I know the defense is on him more because he's a star player of the team. Don't get me wrong, but it's like he struggles a lot with the pressure and everything of I guess his size, and when you play in the playoffs, you play bigger wings. They game plan for you and everything. So maybe
Absolutely.
Jamal is eating off of being the second guy. But just imagining Trey on this team and with Jamal instead of Jamal Murray, I probably would lean Murray just for the
Okay, but if we saying that just to be fair to Trey, what if we flip it? If we putting Jamal in Atlanta before Murray gets there,
Nah,
are we
I feel
saying the
you.
same thing?
No, I would rather Trey on the Hawks.
Okay,
I would rather Trey on the Hawks, yeah, for sure.
gotcha.
I rather Trey on the Hawks.
I agree, but I'm kind of it's a conversation for me now.
Oh, it's a conversation.
It's a conversation for me.
Is it because of how Trey looked this season?
Yeah, Trey's been very it's his efficiency as a scorer because he's a primary offensive player. Like that's where he has to be great, and we know his playmaking is always going to be elite. But if you go look at his career, each year he's been kind of hit or miss. Just when it comes to efficiency, like his scoring, his shooting, he relies on a lot of tough shots.
A lot
He's
of
not a
deep
good. He's not a good finisher. And if that three ball isn't on, he's not giving you a lot of great production outside of that. Unless he got to get to the free throw line.
Yeah.
And we know even in the playoffs that can be kind of iffy as well. And Jamal Murray is a much better finisher, got a much better in between game, more efficient just overall year to year. Yeah, he's not giving you the level of production. Like he's not dropping 30, 40-point games every night in the regular season. But we ain't ever seen Trey even have a postseason like this. Now, of course, Jamal's doing it as a second option. But could he have some similar to Trae Young as the number one guy? Could he have some inconsistent, great scoring nights as the number one guy, just like Trey did? I'm sure he could. Because that's what Trey did. Basically, as the number one option, Trey just had some inconsistently great scoring nights. So he'll drop 35 one night, and he'll have an inefficient 23 or something the next night. And I'm not sure that Jamal Murray couldn't do that. Now, the thing that I'm questioning is the playmaking. Can Jamal Murray create as well with his passing as to the level of Trae Young? I don't know. Maybe not. But I don't know how much is he going to be giving you on the other end defensively? Maybe he's giving you a little bit more. Maybe
I feel like the defense is a wash either way.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Because Trey is a really big negative.
Yeah. Trey is a
I mean, you hiding him on defense.
Yeah.
You hiding him.
So I mean, I don't know. It's a conversation for me. I'm not going to say for sure. I'm still going to lean Trey this year, but next year we got to see Jamal Murray if they come out and how they finish this season. I got to see how they close this year, but next season he definitely could be in that conversation as being, who knows what his regular season might be next year. He might have a bigger role, being another year removed from the injury. He could end coming next year averaging 25 a game or more. Who knows?
Or do we look at him like how we looking at Jimmy right now, which is regular season he just okay. Well, not okay, but he just coasting through. Then the playoffs hit and he turned it up a notch. Kind of like what Jimmy doing. That's how I look at it. Because with Trey, I can't just ignore the 10 assists. That's how I just look at it. So I remember him getting to the Eastern Conference Finals with Clint Capella and John Collins, the same people with now. But he got to the Eastern Conference Finals and took a game off of the eventual champs. He took a game off him. And I can't see Jamal doing that. And I know how good he look right now. Jamal look amazing right now. Amazing. And as a Laker fan, I'm sick. Because I remember him dribbling around Lonzo years ago. I was sick.
Bruh.
I'm sick.
You were there.
So many Lakers fans hated that man.
Hey, Drew, I told you about bro.
Yeah, I remember there was like a debate. It feels like it was a century ago of like who was better,
Hey,
Lonzo or Jamal Murray.
people wasn't there, man. Hey, they came when LeBron came, man. They wasn't there, man.
No,
They
I
wasn't.
swear, I remember arguing with people about who was better, Lonzo or Jamal Murray, and I felt like it was like 10 years ago. but man,
Lonzo.
yeah.
No, just playing.
That's what they were saying though. I
Hey,
remember like,
I had that discussion.
yeah,
I'm ready to have that discussion. I already know how Destiny is about Lonzo, so
Man,
yeah.
yeah.
Man, I seen a report the other day. They said he might be his career, man.
Yeah.
His
Yeah,
career might be
unfortunately,
over.
it's not a conversation for all the wrong reasons. So
Yeah.
Man, let's get back to business. I don't want to cry right now. I don't want to cry.
yeah.
All right, so
Yeah. No, the
that
only
was
thing. So the
Yeah,
only
go
thing I
ahead.
will say though, like on the Jamal Murray thing, like I'm not sure. Like as far as this postseason, he couldn't have had the same postseason that Trae Young had, if not better, in that Celtics series, right? Like he probably, like, I think they could have won. What they won 6 games. Trae had a
Mhm.
couple big games. I could see him having a game. Like yeah, Trae averages a lot more assists, but of course he's the primary guy.
Mhm.
Jamal Murray, where he averaged like what 6 assists, something like that. Jokic is the
Yeah.
primary ball handler. He's basically the point guard on that team.
Yeah.
Um,
I do think. I mean, I don't think it's even the assist is like 6 to 10, but I still think it's a huge gap in terms of playmaking.
yeah. See, I agree with that. But like, I'm thinking it back. Like we're putting all the stock in really that Trae Young conference finals run a couple of years ago, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I feel like there's a lot of caveats with that run. You already know. You already know what I think. But
Yeah, you know,
yeah,
with the Ben Simmons thing.
well, first round, I never took that Knicks team seriously. Yes, they won,
Mhm.
and it was it was a good series, win whatever. But like Julius Randle is the best player on that team. Like
Yeah.
yeah. I think that Jamal Murray is also leading the Hawks over that team. Yeah, I think that's happening.
I'll give you that.
And then that second round, Trae had some ridiculous games. Like he had some 40-point games. And then he also had some games where he was like really inefficient.
Especially when they had Ben Simmons and Matisse Thybulle on. They was making it tough for him, even though Ben Simmons was nothing on offense.
And ultimately that series was back and forth. But ultimately, we know like Ben Simmons had a big say in what happened in that series. So I gotta give credit to Trae Young for the win, but like, I don't know. I'm not saying that like I'm still leaning towards Trae, but I'm not saying we're gonna see going forward, man.
Yeah, it's yeah. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical about Jamal being the best player on a team like Trae. When we've seen Trae bring his team to the playoffs 3 years in a row as the best player on the team. Took a few games out the Celtics this year, like my man Jermaine missing right there. He took him to the conference finals as well. But I also don't believe in Trae being the best player on a championship team anyway.
Yeah, I don't believe in either one of them being the best player on the championship team.
Yeah,
Right.
but
Right.
I do think Trae's being that offensive engine, being a scoring playmaking threat, as the number one on the team, brings you further than Jamal Murray. But as the second guy, I mean his ability to play off of Jokic, play off of everybody else. Trae, when he has to be ball dominant for him to be productive, that's why I would choose Jamal Murray for this Nuggets team rather than choose Trae for the Nuggets team.
But have
That's
we
how that.
seen Trae play as a second option? Even the Murray right now, even the DeJounte right now. Have we even seen him play off? Not necessarily off the ball, but
Mhm.
the way he bring like you said earlier, Drew. He's the entire offense. That's why he got the 10 assists. So I get that. And Jamal being maybe it bumps up to 8 if he's the number one option and everything. But have we seen Trae as the number 2 in terms of if he was in Denver? If he was in Denver, a lot of open shots, he would have a hell of a lot more open shots than he has now.
Yeah, I mean you make a good point.
I just don't know if he'd be as effective as a number 2. I just don't like. I feel like he
You mean field
the
goal
way
percentage wise?
I mean, like, I don't know if he would get his production. I don't know if he can maintain like a consistent production with as a number 2, because I feel like he just gets so many shots up. He gets to the free throw line a lot. That's a big part of his game.
Mhm.
just his style of play. I don't know if it's I don't, like if we're gonna compare it with just like playing on this Denver team. I don't know if it fits well, honestly, with Jokic. Um, he hasn't shown the ability to be somebody that can cut and like score like that, get into the rim. He doesn't really utilize a lot of other aspects, of his game. Like he has that floater, but like he doesn't really get to the paint. He's not a finisher like that. His 3-point shot is very like all over the place. Like he's either on or he's way off.
Mhm.
Like when he's on, it's like damn, he could drop 7, 8 threes, but then like it's never like just like there's no in between. It seemed like with him, he seemed like he's either money or he's like 2 for 8 or something like that, right? Um, and so I don't know. I just like and like playing off ball, being like a dude that can just catch and shoot, or play the 2-man game with Jokic. I don't feel like it's going to be as effective. Part of that is because of his side. Part of that I just don't feel like he's comfortable doing it. I don't even know what the percentages are, but I'm very curious to see what his like shooting is on like off the catch or spot up, things like that. Cause I just feel like it's probably not great. And so
Yeah, that's my only like concern, especially like with Trey, because I haven't seen him in that position. So I mean, you could make an argument for him just because he's maybe not this season, but he is a good shooter. He is a guy who has range. So I mean, you could hypothetically put him in that situation playing with a guy like Jokic, whereas Jamal, this has been his role. He understands what to do. Like how to play, especially specifically off of a guy like Jokic. So I mean that's probably why I would I would lean more Jokic. I mean lean toward Murray in this specific situation. But as far as like leading the team, I would probably still choose Trey just because of his he's like a short ass Luca, pretty much like so.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I get for Trey. This is a name right here though. And I had real trouble with this one, especially watching how this guy played in the playoffs. Would y'all rather have Jamal Murray or De'Aaron Fox?
Mm.
And I started because and a big thing that made me think about this is because Fox played with Sabonis, who was like kind of like Jokic. He's not as good as Jokic, of course.
Right.
But the way he's able to thrive and how he translated to the playoffs, the only time I saw him kind of play iffy was in that game 7, and everybody know he had like a broken finger or something like that, broken index finger. So, but other than that, even when he broke it, he was still playing great. In that game 6, everybody thought they were about to lose to Golden State. He was out there hooping. He's translated to the playoffs. Of course, it was only his first playoff run,
Mm-hmm.
but the dude was great. I
And
think
Steph had to go for 50.
yeah, and Steph had to go for 50
Yeah.
for them to beat Sacramento. And I thought it was a toss up between who was their best player between him and Sabonis. But when it got to the playoffs, it was clear it was Fox.
oh yeah,
Because
Yeah.
Fox and it's something that he possesses that Murray possesses well. Now I do think Murray is a better 3-point shooter, but Fox is a pretty is a decent 3-point shooter, but getting to the mid range,
better mid range.
creating his own shot, getting to the paint. I think playmaking kind of like evens out. I think Fox can get after defensively a lot better than Murray, but the shot making, man, like Fox and him in the clutch as well, because he just won the first ever Jerry West Clutch Award. Him in the clutch is insane. This is a real
Yeah,
like
I'm really
debate.
thinking about it. I'm leaning towards Fox just because he's done he
Uh-huh.
did that. Like, he was the main guy on that team. He got them to the playoffs for the first time in forever. He was playing great up until until I guess that finger injury or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It's a close one, but I feel like it would probably be a similar series with Jamal Murray. Honestly, probably be a similar outcome. Yeah, I'm gonna say slight edge to Fox, but yeah, I still think that's a conversation as well.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, I go with Fox too. Only like you said, that's not like it's his first. This is his first run. This is his first
Mhm.
playoff run, and he been in the league. What coming up on 7 years now? I mean, not 7 years. About 6, 5, 6 years.
He got in there in 2017, 17. Yeah, maybe like
About 6, 7.
I think that's 6. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's just 6. Yeah, yeah.
So, and this is first run,
Mm-hmm.
and he looked good. Well, and like you said, it was an injury, but he did look good. But yeah, I think I go with Fox. I think I go with Fox. Like you said, the shot making is you picking. It's hard. It's like 6 and 1, 6 and another. Like it's like with the shot making because we've seen Jamal make crazy shots. Just in this series alone.
Yeah.
Man,
The other night, last night we saw in the fourth
bro.
quarter he had the basket. He looking one way and put it up the other way on the opposite side of the rim in the fourth quarter. But
And
Fox,
and
we've
they
seen the
they
same
both
thing.
like athletic too.
Right.
Mm.
But Fox is the athleticism is different. Fox, we can see him. He can get the ball off the glass.
Oh
He
yeah,
can go.
he
He can
gone.
go.
He gone.
And Jamal, yeah, I think I go with Fox. I give Fox the edge. It's a slight edge though.
Mhm.
It's real slight. It's real slight, but I will go with Fox too.
Yeah, I think yeah, it's a huge it's a
Because
damn.
both teams are built similar. You
Yeah, low
got
key.
you got your big, you got your point, you got shooters, around them. You, it can go either way. Like if you flip, if I feel like if either one flip their point guards, neither one will be upset. Neither team will be upset with, we got
Yeah.
Jamal now, or we
Mhm.
got Fox now. Neither one will be upset. But I will get a slight edge to Fox for sure.
And is something that I think about because um Fox he basically like he playing with like a Jokic light. So imagine if he was playing with the real Jokic. You
Mhm.
know, how much better would he
What you
be
mean, man?
as
Jokic Light is Sengun. That's who the Rockets got now.
that's extra light.
Oh my god.
That's extra light. But
Yeah, extra light.
but hey, I would say like Fox, he definitely was the best player for the Kings in the playoffs, and I think he's the best player on the team. With Jamal, even though how he stepped up and how great he's playing in the playoffs, everybody knows that's still Jokic's team. Everything still goes through him. He still feeds off the attention that Jokic provides. Because I thought the Lakers been playing pretty good defense on Jokic this series. Not through the first 3 quarters. After the first 3 quarters of game one, other than that, their defense has been really solid on Jokic, and Murray has been capitalizing on all those opportunities. Now he's been. I ain't saying that everything's been easy for him, but I mean it's definitely different when the defense is looking at you first, rather than they looking at a different another guy first,
Facts.
and that's a huge thing when I'm trying to decide who I'm gonna take over Jamal Murray when I'm looking at these other point guards in the league and I'm looking at Jamal Murray. But with Fox, it's pretty close. I would still lean De'Aaron Fox. Maybe I'm a little biased because he played out here in Houston a little bit, but but nah, just game wise though, um, yeah, I'll probably still say Fox. But what Jamal is doing is incredible, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I can't even fight it. Even he doing it to my Lakers. It's sad, but it
So
is
we're
what
gonna
it
get
is.
into this other surprising, probably more surprising series, the
Oh
Celtics and the Heat, because
yeah, yeah. That's enough
that's
talking
like
about Jamal Murray, man. I don't want to
yeah,
talk
man,
about
because
him before I cry.
right now you have another boy that you need to talk about. And I'm like, I
Yeah,
mean he hasn't been bad, but like
yeah. So we can get into the Celtics. See, let's ask our guest what he think about this series so far. What you think? What you think about this series, man?
It's not.
yeah.
It. If anybody told you that they knew Miami would steal the first two on the road, they lying. They lying to you.
Oh yeah,
Not both.
facts.
Not
Hell
both.
no.
Not both. Maybe one. Even they would say the first game. But if they told you both games and kind of convincingly, nah, they lying to you. It's Jimmy. I don't even know what to say about Jimmy no more. At this point, what do you say about him besides that he's like the same way we looked at playoff Rondo? It was like, oh, playoff Rondo, playoff Rondo. He flipped a switch, but it's a different switch.
Nah,
He,
yeah, this is a
he
whole nother level.
yeah,
More this is
it's another
beyond playoff
level.
Rondo. This is
Yeah,
beyond playoff Rondo.
it's another level, and
Yeah.
I that the Grant Williams situation. I think that if today was Friday and all the shows would be able to talk about something like that, I think that's something that should be talked about because you don't do something like that. Not with
That was
Jimmy.
hilarious though.
Yeah,
That's
for
like a
sure.
classic
Oh, for
moment right
sure.
there.
But you don't do nothing
He
like that.
definitely poked the bear.
Yeah, and especially when you got the lead, when you already got the lead, and you saw what happened. Was it game one when Al Horford called a timeout when he I guess he hit a three. He hit a three in the corner, and he called a timeout for Miami. Just joking around with him. You can't do that.
It was Al Horford did that. You said,
Yeah, Al Horford did it. I don't know if it was game one or two. I can't remember. But he had hit a three in the corner. Crowd went crazy. And when Spo called a timeout, Al Horford was right on the side calling the timeout with him, just to joke around with him. But you can't do that. You can't do that. In certain situations where, especially when it's clearly one guy that's cooking you right now. It's Bam. Bam had a good game too, but it's one guy that's really cooking you right now. And knowing that I personally think Jaylen Brown, Tatum might be the best duo in the league. It switches for me a lot, but when you got two wings that can get you, that's averaging what 25 a game.
yeah,
Two wings like that can get it on offense and defense on both sides of the ball like that. When you're going up against the best, arguably to me the best duo in the league, you don't need anything to just let it go, man. Just play your game. And Jimmy, like you said, it's a different switch. He flipped the switch and he's cooking right now. And now you got to go back to you going to Miami down 2. Do I think Boston can steal a game? I think so, but it's crazy saying that
It better be game 3.
Yeah. You go down 3-0, it's over. I think you get swept. I think it's over in 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think. Now go ahead, Drew.
Oh no, I was gonna say like the only thing I don't know if I agree with John Brown. I mean, I understand the argument, but I don't know if I agree with John Brown and Jason Tatum being the best duo, just because I don't know if their games complement each other as much as you'd like. Mm-hmm. Like they don't really like play off each other the best. They kind of do a lot of the same things, and that's kind of just been like we kind of see it. We seen it rear its head again, like where like a lot of times like one of them goes off, the other one doesn't play as effective.
Yeah,
like they have too many.
I told Drew whenever I do my picks on Prize Picks, I do 2 different
both
plays.
of them.
I got Brown on one play and I got Tatum on one play.
Because the one's gonna go off.
One of them gonna go. One of them gonna hit. For sure.
Because we just saw last game like Tatum had a really good game, but Jaylen Brown didn't really play well.
Yeah,
and we saw it a lot in that Sixers series. Like one of the reasons why that series was able to go as long as it did was because Jason Tatum was having games where he'd start 0 for 7, 0 for 8, and Jaylen Brown would be cooking, right? And then Jaylen Brown, like they'd go away from Jaylen Brown to get Jason Tatum involved. There's a lot of your turn, my turn with them, and every once in a while it'll be that rare night where they both got it going and they both on, and it's like, oh, it's curtains. Y'all ain't winning. Whoever's playing against them, y'all out. But too frequently we see a lot of times where they're not like helping each other. Their games, like there's not really like with Jokic and Murray, they could play well off each other easily, right? It's like natural.
Big
yeah, yeah, but it's like so I feel like that's definitely a problem sometimes, and like right now they've been doing this kind of all year. They've been not that great at home, not great at home as we think they would be during the playoffs. Like that goes back, last year was the same case, and I think they were going to lose both. I was expecting them to get. I wasn't surprised they lost the first game. If there was a game I was thinking that they were going to lose, I thought it was going to be that first one. But I was surprised when they lost game 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
And
I
I guess
would
for
too.
me, when I see Boston, I think their issue is they need a point guard, and I think it's also to do the coaching because Jason Tatum, he's good at ball handling, but I feel like he needs to be more off ball in like secondary initiating the offense, kind of like have Malcolm Brogdon be able the ball and have the system play through each other. And I also do blame Jones doing the coaching in a way because he forces them. They live and die by three, and I think Jason Tatum needs to allow Jason Tatum to have his in between game, drive to the basket, and shoot three. Like we saw in game 7 when we played Philly. Gave you 51 when he's driving to the basket playing natural instead of chucking up threes because he's a good 3-point shooter, but he's
I
not
mean,
good. He's not Steph
he was
Curry.
doing everything.
He was doing
So,
everything. He was
but
doing everything.
once he saw that 1-3 fall at the end of
Yeah.
the second quarter,
Yeah.
third quarter, he got it
And
going.
And it's like, and like that's the thing. They need a point guard, a true point guard to initiate their offense because they get too stagnant. They start to play hero ball, and like Joe Mazzulla doesn't call enough sets when they do get stagnant. I hate when he doesn't. He allowed Miami just to go on that run last game, and especially in like they call timeouts and just throw multiple bodies because like he should have sets to beat this heat zone. Like he doesn't have enough counters. He's getting out coached. Exposed the best coach in the league, so I'm not surprised. But still, it's kind of like, what are you doing? And I don't know, Celtics they play more sporadic than last year. Even though they have more turnover, they just look better offensively, slightly, versus now in the playoffs. Al Horford, shooting threes, they're not taking advantages versus like Miami. Jimmy Butler is a master of getting his mismatch, getting to his spot. He's gonna find who he wants and get what he takes. Because like when Tatum on him, he's like, okay, he struggles more with Tatum. All right, let me get Malcolm Brogdon and Derek White on me. I can shoot over the top of them. Al Horford on me, I can get by him easily. It's just that's the issue. The Celtics, they're not taking advantage of the mismatches that much. They're just taking the shots. Like Tatum Brown, they're more athletic other than Jimmy Butler, they're more athletic than all the other guys. Get to the rim or get shoot over them, or even Al Horford. Like they have to take advantage of the mismatches, and that's what the Heat are doing. They're playing chess while the other team's playing checkers. That's what I see.
Yeah. Now I definitely agree with you, Dev, when you talk about the coaching mismatch.
And stop copying my do-rag, man.
Man, I had this do-rag on for you. But I definitely agree with you when you talk about the coaching mismatch. Like I told Drew earlier, I think Miami has two superstars in the playoffs, and I think that's Jimmy and it's Eric Spoelstra. And I don't know. I think they had, Giannis got hurt in the first round, but
The Knicks.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, but nah, I gotta get him. I gotta get him credit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't see them, especially after they lost to the Hawks in the play-in, and they was losing to the Bulls. Dog, I did not think. Oh, look at Drew. He got my pitch up there. He
Man, that wasn't even on purpose.
I know you want that Jalen Green picture. But yeah, when they was losing to the Bulls, I was like, man, nah, ain't no way they're gonna beat the Bucks. Even when Giannis got hurt, I didn't think they're gonna beat the Bucks. But once again, I underestimated playoff Jimmy. I underestimated Eric Spoelstra. And not to mention they missing a second best score. They still
playing better without them, but also the thing that surprised me because like when people are saying surprise, Jimmy turns it off and on. Like that narrative is not true. Jimmy played great in the regular season. It's just the difference is Miami shooting
great.
Let me say great.
Not
great.
He was
good. He was good.
Well, if you consider that great, what is this?
Yeah. Well, right. I mean, great. Let me.
No. To me, like I was before this playoff run, I was on that Jimmy Butler playoff. Jimmy is a myth. I was saying that. Like I can't say that anymore. That's like the level he's playing at. I mean, I would say pre-Miami, there was no playoff Jimmy.
Oh yeah, no, that's
Jimmy
true.
thing became right. He had like almost 10 years in the league where people were not talking about him like this. Right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But like what he's been doing the last like 4 years or 3.5 years, we want to call it.
Yeah, don't count 20.
Nobody could have foreseen this, man. Like he's playing in the regular season, he's like an all-star. He's a good player, but he's playing like a top 5 player.
But would you say that Miami is the first team to ever turn the keys fully to Jimmy? Because I mean, in Minnesota he had Cat and Teague and other guys around him that really I won't say Teague, but I'll say Cat. And in Philly, it was Embiid. Yeah, Wiggins.
He actually enjoyed his time in Philly though.
Yeah, but I mean, even on those teams, I feel like he wasn't even like that great as I guess you want to say as a number 2, right?
Kawhi was cooking him in that series,
right? Like he wasn't even that great in his role in those teams. He was still a good player, but he was not.
Yeah,
he was nowhere
he
close
was mainly
to this.
how he was with Philly. When I watched him, he was more like a player who played his role, and then when it got to the fourth quarter, he was like that closer,
Yeah,
and he was the one that
So like
ran
that
like
Jamal Murray type.
yeah. Pretty much. He ran the pick and roll with Jimmy. I mean, with Embiid at the end of games, and Ben Simmons more in that dunker spot type role. So he was like that closer, and throughout the game, they was more Ben Simmons, Embiid, JJ Redick. You know, that's how they was kind of running.
And also,
and Jimmy was getting his, how he got it. But in the fourth quarter, that's when he really turned up. But I kind of agree with you. Kind of agree with what you just said, the man. Like when he signed with and they chose Tobias Harris over him,
He won't
according to
let you
Jimmy.
forget it.
because of money
Yeah,
wise, because I
he
think because of money,
he wanted to
Jimmy.
forget it. When he got to Miami, though, they said, okay, this your
I'm-
team, Jimmy.
Even honestly, for me, even in the first year of Miami, he wasn't really like this. And even that first playoff, and even though they made the finals,
2021,
he really wasn't like this great in the playoffs.
It was all of
It
Miami.
was in the finals. He had a couple really great performances in the finals in the bubble.
He was
But
great in the finals.
but on that playoff run, like he was basically regular season Jimmy.
Yeah,
in that playoff
he
run,
was.
right?
And
this
they
was definitely his best run.
because they
This
had
was-
But
had
last
Tyler
year,
Hero and Goran Dragic playing
but
good.
I would really say playoff Jimmy was last year and this year of him being like,
I
he's
agree.
playing like a superstar.
Yeah.
Like he was playing like a
He-
superstar last year, and he's playing.
Yeah, game six was crazy in Boston.
Like he
Yeah, 'cause
flipped
he-
like
it's
like what I
both
said. I
ends.
think I don't know if it's that teams still underestimate Jimmy when it gets to the playoffs. But what you got to do, you got to throw all your regular season analytics, all your regular season homework, throw that shit out the window. Because this dude is coming to take your heart every night.
Okay,
every game on
And also with Miami, you know what's also surprised me because like we noticed trends. They're breaking their trend because Miami was terrible shooting three, but now all of a sudden they just turn it up because when you see other teams, the Warriors, they're a terrible world team. It showed in the playoffs. Lakers, they're a good defensive team, but they're kind of weak in transition, and it shows in the playoffs. The Miami Heat are breaking the trend, which is weird. That's another reason. Like Duncan Robinson went from Duncan Robinson. Remember how to shoot now. I don't know what happened. It's just.
When keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah, it is.
It was at this moment he knew he fucked up.
And got buckets. See, why would you put Grant Williams on him? Put Jason Tatum on him.
It was like 3 straight plays. He went right at him right after.
See, if I'm Grant Williams, I have to foul.
I mean, when he making tough shots like that, what do you do?
Bro, you gotta let somebody else beat you, bro.
Exactly. You can't let you can't put Grant Williams on him. I'm sorry.
No. I think having Grant Williams on him is fine, but send a second guy. Like I would prefer what the Celtics did at the end of that game, even though I think Gabe Vincent pushed Tatum off a little bit. If Gabe Vincent hit no shots for you,
that's
live
fine.
with it. You don't let Jimmy go 1-on-1. The whole Jimmy got this whole side to himself. Everybody on the other side of the court. You just letting him play 1v1. Bro, Boston.
Yeah,
you can't let this dude kill you because he gon' if you let him do it. I don't care what the analytics say. I don't care what his shooting splits from 3 in the regular season where he shot from mid range. His tendencies and none of that shit. This dude is coming to take your heart. So you don't let him beat you, bro.
The biggest thing that changed like the last few years is like his mid range just got so much better.
Yeah,
like, he always was like a good solid. I would say solid mid range shooter, but he became like really like elite almost at that. And it's he was just hitting these little push shots, these little mid range, like they're like almost semi floaters. Like he'd be going for like a mid range shot, but he really just putting it up with one hand.
Another team, dude, this defense scheme. He's still a great defender, but defense scheme also helps his defense because it allows him to play passing lanes. This that like expose a great defensive mind, and you pair that with a great defensive player, it's gonna make it even better. So
another great defensive player.
Yeah, so. Because they make it up for like guys who aren't strong as defenders like Robinson, Max Strus, Gabe Vincent. So it's like, and they just play like, and the Celtics play into a trap every time. Trap every time.
They were turning it over. Well, what you have to say, Jamal?
Oh no, what I was saying was, to what you said earlier, Jimmy. it was a lot of games during the regular season where he'll take 5 shots. It's a lot of games where he take 5 shots. He'll make 3, but he only looked for 5 in the rest of the game. And it's not like he ended with 11 assists. He'll have the stat line will be 11, 5, and 4. And why would he play like that and have anybody believe that playoff Jimmy is a real thing? So when he said he thought playoff Jimmy was a myth, I'm right with you, because I've seen a bunch of games. It's not like he'll have a stretch of 30 games where he playing good basketball, great basketball, and then it's one game where he goes 12. It's back to back to back. He'll go 9 points, then he'll go 12, and he'll go 11. And even though they're winning, you still look at it like, is it Jimmy or is it Spo that's really leading the charge? But then when the playoffs hit, for some reason, his whole game switched. I say his mindset switched. It's just now he like, okay, I'm gonna get what I want. I'm gonna take what I want. And he's taking a hell of a lot more shots than he ever was taking consistently on a regular season basis. Because when you look back, if they win the championship, you'll look back and say, damn, Jimmy didn't even make the All-Star game.
Man, if they win the championship, oh my goodness,
but he might be Finals MVP, you know.
Right, and
oh
I told Drew earlier this season. I thought Bam was their best player until like the last couple months of the season when no he's been their best player
during the regular season.
Until like the last couple months of the season.
Did Bam make the All-Star game? I don't remember.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
And until like the last couple months of the season when Jimmy really started to like turn it on. My fault. I'm looking at this baseball game, but until the last couple months of the season when Jimmy started to turn it on, Bam was their best player throughout the season. And I was saying, bro, I'm low key jealous of Jimmy because this dude, he go out there, he don't play 100% every night, and he get to stay in South Beach. He get $50 million a year.
Yeah,
he just wait to the playoffs, and then he hit the switch. I'm like, bro, this dude living the fucking life.
He's what we think of Kawhi. We look at Kawhi like, okay, he get the coast in LA, chill, wait until the playoffs start, only because of that, the Toronto run. We get
Kawhi. Kawhi gets hurt. That's it. Kawhi can do this. Like Kawhi went crazy in the first 2 games. Like Kawhi was hooping. It's just he gets hurt.
But my point is that we looking at the same way with Jimmy. Kind of like what you just said, Destin. We're looking at it like, okay, you in Miami, you got the good life. You just get to wait till the playoffs come and you turn it on. Kawhi,
but then again, Kawhi,
I got more respect for what Jimmy's doing though than Kawhi.
Yeah, because at least Jimmy go out there and play every night. He don't go 100.
Like he's not just like sitting out like so many games every single year. I mean, I know some of it is like he's actually hurt, but like this load management.
Yeah, he did have some injuries this year.
Yeah, and like Jimmy, like this run, like if he just beats the Celtics and makes the finals, this is going to change his legacy heavily.
It already changed his legacy when he beat the Bucks.
Y'all think Jimmy a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, he's better than Paul
George. Yeah, I think so. I think he's Hall of Famer.
Better than Paul George.
I think he's Hall of Famer now.
But here's the thing: people aren't gonna overrate him though. Like he's really, really good. But people are like when they say he's he's better Heat than D Wade. I'm like, stop it.
Whoa, what? Who said
that? Ticket say he's a better Heat than D Wade if he wins it.
Hey, I'll say this. If they won the championship, yes.
No. He's basically saying these last 4 years.
What? Yes.
Ticket said his last 4 years, but no, Ticket's basically saying these last 4 years is better than D Wade's whole career.
No. If they won the championship, if Jimmy Butler leads the 8-seeded Heat to the championship, and they go through the former MVP he missed some games, but still they go through the number 1 seed, the Bucks. They beat the Celtics, who were the clear favorites to win the championship, the deepest team in the league. They get to the finals. They beat Jokic.
Are we forgetting who Dwayne Wade is? Dwayne Wade act like we don't know who
I think Dwayne Wade got in the first championship. Dwayne Wade was the almost won MVP in 2009.
Drew, are you comparing championship runs?
No. So let's be clear. I'm not saying that he's a better player.
Okay.
I'm being more specific about what I said.
Because D-Wade played his whole career with the Heat.
And they call it Wade County. They call it Wade County now. D-Wade got a whole different type of love than Jimmy. Like they're gonna love Jimmy, but not like Wade.
I would see if you would make the argument for LeBron. But D Wade?
No. So the reason why, I think Wade is a greater player, but I feel like because the context of that championship and the context of this one is going to be so much greater that I would say that you could say Jimmy's a better
No, but
Miami
Ticket.
Heat.
But Ticket's also saying he's going to be a better player than Wade too.
Ticket's tripping. No, because Wade did win the other. He won the other two as the second guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's still a great player, but he won as the second guy. This championship, just this run alone, if Jimmy was able to do it, that would so far to me outweigh Wade's championship run in 2006.
Wade had 35, I think. Didn't Wade average 35, 36?
It was historical.
It doesn't matter.
You down 0-2.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Against
plus Wade made it relevant too.
It's the 8th seed winning the championship.
What seed was it in 06?
We've never seen anything close to this.
I understand what you're saying about the championship run. Yes. But not
only that, like he's having performances throughout this run that Wade didn't have in that playoff.
Wade made I want to say two. I would say Wade made like 2 deep playoff runs before LeBron came. He made one in 05, I think, but they somebody got. I think D Wade got hurt.
They beat the Pistons, but they beat the
no. 05 they lost to the Pistons. D Wade got hurt, but a big part of the reason why they lost to the Pistons was because he got hurt.
Yeah, and they lost. To
that was when Shaq was like still like Shaq was
Shaq was like second in MVP voting if I'm
and in that playoffs he was great too. Like Shaq was great. And he was still really good the year they won. He wasn't. I don't think he was a superstar level. In the 06, but he was still like a star.
Yeah, he was still a star. And then 06 was the other deep playoff run he made, and this when they won the championship.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think D-Wade, he had a couple of years when he was hurt. And then 09 and 10, that's when he was still in his prime. But I think they was getting bounced in the first round.
So Jimmy will have as the number one guy on the Heat. He'll have 3 deep playoff runs, and he'll have and hypothetically a championship as the 8th seed.
Mm-hmm.
Conference finals run, championship as the 8th seed, where he beat multiple MVP level players that are way above his weight class as far as we looking at him as a player. Like, and man, that's insane. That's insane.
Okay, I get the story. I get the story. But I think we forgetting the story. Dwayne Wade story of D-Wade, man. We forgetting the story.
D-Wade is a greater player all time. I'm not saying that.
I feel like
talking about as a Heat, like what he would have delivered.
Mr. Miami Heat. Even if Jimmy Butler bring him a championship, we can have a discussion about LeBron James. Even though LeBron won MVP and everything with them. I don't think he has a single
he got loved
like Jimmy as a Miami Heat guy. But D-Wade drafted by the Heat, rookie of the year. I'm sure he's the all-time leader in like points and all the other statistical categories and all that shit.
All NBA defensive guy.
Yeah, like all the All-Star appearances he made, the All NBAs, the All Defense, all the game winners, the time that just all that combined, on top of being second fiddle for 2 other championships. Like, nah, Mr. Miami Heat, that's D-Wade. Jimmy would have to bring
cooking.
Hey,
he cooking.
Jimmy would have to bring them like 2, I think.
Man.
Dwayne Wade averaged 30 against the Pistons that year when he beat them to go to the finals.
Hey,
in 06?
Yeah, in 06. Dwayne Wade was going crazy, not just in the finals.
Yeah.
Hey, this is where I come back to where I say this all the time. All championships are not weighted the same to me.
Absolutely.
They don't value the same to me. So
this
to me,
got them their first baby though.
This one championship for me, for Jimmy Butler, would weigh more than every other Heat championship. For one. Right? It would be like,
wait, what?
It would be like, to me, it would be
it would be the best of all their 4.
It would weigh greater than all their other championships. So
combined?
I'm not gonna say combined.
Oh,
but like at least worth 2. It's at least worth 2.
Maybe
it's at least.
I say 1 and 1 and 3.
Nah, man. It's at least worth 2.
You think it's
I'm sorry
because of the whole 8C thing? Okay.
I'm gonna say it's at least worth the first 2.
I mean, he gets Julius Randle tax though.
D-Wade brought them their first championship in franchise history too, and I think and that I mean, when we talking about like who's Mr. Miami Heat, I guess it ain't no I guess it's not just a basketball debate, but I guess it's like everything you brought to the franchise and bringing them their first championship ever, especially how he performed against Dallas and that comeback when they was down 0-2 and he shot like 1 billion free throws and all that shit.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. We ain't even gonna get into that because I got a whole. Yeah, we let's not do that.
but I don't know. Like I don't know over D Wade.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah. I'm saying easily
like,
over the Wade championship, but like the second, I would say.
I think you'll have some if he brings him a championship, you'll have a lot of Heat fans, Heat faithful, choose him over LeBron as a Miami Heat like guy. But D Wade, nah, he not touching D Wade.
Because to me, one of the biggest factors.
D Wade brought them LeBron. So
D Wade brought them Jimmy. When Jimmy got there, he was there. D Wade
he did.
He brought him Jimmy.
Hey, you spitting right now, brother.
So what are we talking about? I respect.
Now y'all doing too much. Y'all doing too much. Oh, who got them on the roster? And like, come on now. Let's stick to actually. but not to me. Like, no. But think about it. Like, I think a big part of how we look at something like this is what are the expectations, right? What was the outlook? Everybody talks about championship window. What like in a lot of those years? I mean, every year that they won, the Heat won. They were considered a contender. And not even just that. Like, they were one of the favorites, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the first year they won, they weren't a favorite to win in the finals, but they were a strong favorite to get there, right? And of course, the years they won with LeBron, they were favorites to win 3 years, right? And so like
4 years.
That to me,
well, to get there at least.
Yeah. And so like I'm looking at like this year with the Heat, like not only were they not a favorite, they weren't even close to like even like what the top 5, right? And not only that, like as the playoffs are happening, they're still not a favorite. In each series, as the playoffs are happening, like series to series, they're not a favorite. They're literally overcoming it, or Jimmy largely is overcoming the odds in real time. Like, damn, middle of the Bucks series, it's like, oh, the Bucks gonna come back. You know, Giannis comes back and they're gonna come back. They're gonna find a way to get it together. Yeah. They're not gonna actually pull this upset off.
I look like a fool. I picked the Bucks to come back from 3-1.
Exactly, right? And then and so like, and they end up winning that series. The Knicks kind of fooled everybody a little bit, but there was a lot of people picking the Knicks to possibly knock them off because we didn't know if they could do it again, right?
All right, so I get everything you're saying, and if we talking about if Jimmy wins this championship, it'll be the most impressive. Not just the most impressive Heat championship, one of the most impressive championships we ever seen.
If they just make the finals, to me, it's probably the most impressive run to not win a championship.
What about
a player to me?
Well, okay. Now I was going to ask you about the Knicks in '99, but they weren't
and it was a lockout year. It was a lockout year too.
Yeah, that was like a normal A seed.
Yeah,
but still though, when I look at the Miami Heat, even if Jimmy wins the championship, when I think of the Miami Heat, the first person I'm thinking about is D Wade. Now, so that's all I'm saying. Like,
I can't see Jimmy County. Like Wade County just has a bit different ring to
it. Jimmy County.
Like he just have coffee all over the place. Butler Central. Okay, I talk about your Jamal Murray take real quick because I was in and out. My fault. That's my fault for the mic.
No, you good.
So with the Jamal Murray take, well, people are saying he's a superstar. Next year he'll be a superstar. No, he'll not be, because reason why
superstar.
It's not because he's not as great as that. He's still really, really, really good. It's just that that Nugget system won't allow him to average just big numbers he's putting up in the playoffs. In the regular season, even Jokic's numbers his scoring numbers aren't really crazy because they play off each other. They play a systematic basketball. So people need to understand that. And two, Jamal Murray, he's a perfect even before this is normal Jamal Murray. He was doing this his regular season he had this year. He was doing it before he got hurt.
Wait. You saying normal? You saying right now? This is
not right now. Not right now. Not right now. I'm talking about what he was doing this regular season. This is normal Jamal Murray. Like he was doing this, or these numbers he was putting up before he got hurt and afterwards. So it's not like he's I think he'll like plateau. Like, and Jamal Murray, I think he's just showing again, reminding people like who he actually was, because before the injuries, because people don't really give him attention. People not really respecting the Nuggets. And also Jokic just makes it way, way easier because of the attention he generates. And I think he's the perfect guard to have next to Jokic, because with how the Nuggets did it, they built it defensively, because defense around Jokic, because Jamal Murray's a good defender, Bruce Brown, KCP,
It's all right.
MPJ's improved,
Eh.
Aaron Gordon. So they got like if you put any other guard around him, it wouldn't really match up the same. So
I got a question for you real quick. So when you say Jamal Murray is, you didn't necessarily say underrated, but your point was he's not rated like the other point guards, right?
I'll say he's underrated. He's an all-star caliber player, but it's gonna be hard for him to make an all-star game because there's so many great guards in the West.
Right.
Yeah,
That's all. That's all I was trying to say.
Luca, Curry, Shea, Dame, Ja. That's already 5.
Mm-hmm.
De'Aaron Fox, that's 6. That's just a lot of great guards in the West, and he's not going to get that shine because all the other players I named are either the start. Actually, all 6 of them are the start of the team, of their team, and I don't know
Like
if
Kyrie still in the West.
Kyrie. And that's the thing. I don't know if Jamal Murray can carry a team or lead a team like other point guards in the league. I don't think his game is set up like that. When I see a Jamal Murray.
Mm-hmm.
That's just basically, that's the way I could be wrong, but that's just what I see. Like, there's some number 2s in the league. I can see like, okay, they can have their own team. Like Jaylen Brown. I don't think Jaylen Brown can have his own team, in my opinion, with his game.
I think Jaylen Brown is. I think he could, but I think it wouldn't. It wouldn't
lead to nothing like crazy.
Right,
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's
what
I think.
I think Jaylen Brown could lead a team to the playoffs, maybe, but like I don't think they're gonna like go
First
far
round
or have a deep run. Yeah, I think he's a perfect number 2. I think Jaylen Brown's a great number 2.
Yeah, and I do agree with you, Drew. They not playing each other because they do the same thing almost. They're both great defenders. Well, Jaylen Brown's his defense been looking iffy now. Scores high end. It's like, I don't know what's going on with the Celtics, man. I don't know if it's coaching, Ime, but you should be excited. You should be excited for Ime though, because he said some really good things on how he's going to use the players.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
I'm saying, he's already a better coach. His first 5 sentences, he's already better coach than Steve Silas.
You hear what he was talking about KPJ? How like, remember we used to talk about like kids catch and shoot numbers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, you have one of the better catch and shoot players in the league, but he's he's barely ever off ball. We should try and
see. That's what I told you, Drew. It's,
we were talking about that. I think that's the big reason why he got that contract. But
unfortunately,
I'm still no, I'm still sad about the draft lottery, so I'm not even really thinking about next season right now.
Okay, but quick question: since we're on the topic of the Rockets, if James come back,
he shouldn't come back. No, he shouldn't come back.
How does that?
I don't know.
That's a lot.
Drew is a huge James Harden guy, so you can tap us in what you think about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. So like, I feel like if he comes back, it's going to be his last contract. He's going to be coming here to retire. I feel like it would be good for the young guys because I could see him in a playmaker role. Like he could take a back seat. He's already shown that he's willing to take a back seat to like play off of somebody or like create and not necessarily be the primary scorer. He's fine with that. But like, I just don't really see why he would do it. Like, I mean, at this point, I guess like he just given up on the championship altogether.
I
feel like
I don't think he just, even though I do think Harden still has a lot in the tank as far as being like a second guy. If he stays with Philly, but if he just wants to, but he doesn't fit the timeline. With the Rockets.
I don't.
So if he come in here, I think he just wants to come help develop. He likes
literally.
He loves the city.
Literally, he's coming here just to get paid and like chill and retire and go ride, like it's whatever. Like he's not coming to actually try to win a championship.
Hit the take a leg hood.
I do think that like we. Oh my bad. Tell you.
Oh no, I was saying, believe it or not, I'm high on the Rockets young players. Like I know people like shit on y'all, talk about this, saying y'all are AAU team, but I really do love y'all young players. Like I'm higher on Jabari Smith than others. Like I don't think he's just a Trevor Reeves. I think he'll be better than that. I'm really high on Jalen Green, and I'm really high on the Thompson twins.
I'm super high on Jalen Green.
And his thing, Jalen Green, he's gotten better. It's like they're a very young team, and they lack of veterans. It shows, and lack of leadership shows.
That's a huge thing. Like I think. Like the coach that a young guy comes into in the league, definitely will change their trajectory. And I think when we got to year 2, even though Ime has some of the off the court issues, I do think, especially being a former player, he'll help right the ship. I believe so.
And he can manage egos because look, he was able to manage the Celtics egos. Well, Celtics probably don't have egos, but they have JT, JB, Marcus Smart.
They have like youth, like they have
youth and multiple personalities.
They don't know how to play the game the right way yet. Like, I mean, they all talented and skilled, but
they don't know how to play together.
Yeah, and they need somebody that they not fear, but they need somebody that they really respect. I don't know if
Jalen Green needs to be a scorer. Jalen Green needs to be a scorer. Amin Thompson needs to be that point guard to manage the game.
Henderson so bad.
Oh, and Scoot would have been perfect. Scoot would have been. You know what's crazy? I don't think he. I think he might. Run. He might fall though.
He might fall to Charlotte, 3. I don't see it falling to 4 though.
Like it's Charlotte because I have a question for you, Drew. How do you if Scoot? Let's say Scoot does go to Charlotte. How do you see that working with him and LaMelo, or do they trade LaMelo? That's my question to you.
I don't see the point in them drafting him unless they're gonna like get off LaMelo.
Yeah, I think they go Brandon Miller.
You don't think they play together?
I don't know. I feel like it'd be a weird fit for them to play together. Like a really.
Some people said they don't care about him. Like Scoot, they think Scoot is that guy, and
I think he is too. But
like it's basically like a not as good. Don't get me wrong if I make this comparison, but it's like how the Trailblazers passed on Michael Jordan because they had Clyde Drexler. It's like nah.
We got a guard already, so
yeah.
I
like nah. This dude could be better, or play them together, or something. Figure it out, but don't pass on this guy.
They should pass on him. They should draft Danny Granger 2.0. Brandon Miller. Danny Granger.
I like Brandon Miller.
That's kind of disrespectful. I like Brandon Miller. That's disrespectful.
Now, Danny Granger's a good player.
Danny Granger, he made I think an All-Star team.
Yeah, he made All-Star team. Danny Granger's cold. That's not terrible.
Oh, I thought you said Danny Green 2.0.
Oh no!
No,
I said Danny Granger.
Okay,
yeah, he would not be rated a top 3 player.
I'm gonna be honest. I think he's Danny Granger at best. I'm gonna be honest.
That's fair. That's fair.
Granger's cold. I think he
before the injury, he was a good player. He had like I can't remember. It was a serious injury though that like changed his career.
Yeah, him and Scoot. Yeah, Vic and Scoot are most definitely 2 highest rated prospects. Well, they got the most potential. Him, Scoot, and the Thompson twins got the 4 most potential in this year's draft. And Nick Smith Jr., but he had a bad year in college and injuries.
I just don't.
Drew loves Amin Thompson.
I just don't want Amin Thompson. No, he's lying. I don't want Amin Thompson.
I'm from the A. I watched him. I think he's over polarized. He got a lot of potential. I really do like his game. His shot is raw, but it has improved big time because. I see because it was even more broken. It
was worse.
So I commend his intangibles a lot. That's why I like in his athleticism and his feel for the game. So I do feel like I think it's because he went to OTE. If he was probably in college or some other league, probably be better, and he probably be higher than Brandon Miller. That's my opinion.
Yeah. My thing is, I don't like players where like when I'm trying to like project where they're gonna be, and I'm trying to think of like what's the best case scenario, or what's an example of a player like them. I don't like when I can't think of an example that
Sean Livingston.
No, but Sean Livingston was a knockdown mid-range dude. Like he was like money from
in the post.
This dude does not have a knockdown anything, right? Like he's a great athlete. He's very athletic. He could finish above the rim. He's got a quick first step.
Asur is more of a better like not better prospect. Asur is better like is easier to think of a player.
Yeah, so like, what's the example for Amin Thompson? Like, what would he become at the next level? Best case scenario. The only player I could think of
is Cade.
No. The only player I can think of makes me worried. It's like it's Ben Simmons, but it's like a more aggressive. It's a more aggressive Ben Simmons or something like that.
Nah, Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons with confidence.
Yeah, Ben Simmons with aggressive.
Ben Simmons with confidence. A good NBA player. That's a good NBA player though.
But like, I don't know how I feel about that, man. Like, that's like the only one I can think of.
I feel like Houston. He needs to fall to a team that needs to develop him. Maybe it wasn't Houston, a different team that has better developmental than I understand.
We already have like multiple guys that we're still developing and trying to like. It's another dude that
even though I'm not a fan of KPJ being at point guard, I wouldn't choose Amin Thompson over him as
I know. I hate KPJ at point.
I don't know if I
hate
just
him
really
at
just
point guard.
believe in him as a shooter like that. That's the only thing.
That's why I put him at point guard. Just have him pass and let KPJ and Jalen Green score. I hate KPJ at point. I'm sorry, I just hate KPJ
Eamon
at point
Thompson
guard.
has to be the point. Like wherever he goes, he has to either be
He's not
like
a shooter. He has to have the ball in his hand.
Because I feel like and his mechanics, I feel like he'll be more of a spot up, like a set shooter. What's it called? Like was it one of those type of shooters, kind of like a.
If they said the Rockets need to hire a shooting coach immediately. Whether they draft Eamon Thompson or not.
I mean that's facts. That's fact. Every team needs a shooting coach.
Yeah. Well, we at the hour 40 mark. We about to wrap it up.
Celtics on Heat right now.
Yeah, just real quick, what's y'all predictions for this game? Y'all think Miami go?
I've been wrong. So Miami, they're gonna win this game. Celtics will win game 4. Miami close out in 5.
Yeah,
I got
have
the same thing. Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh no. I was gonna say I feel like I have to pick the Celtics because I just like this is not making any sense right like they got to win this game.
It's not making sense.
If they don't win this game, like so I got to pick them tonight because it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Yeah,
I got it the same way. I got Boston tonight, Miami next game. They close out in 5.
I think tonight will be the time, the rare time when we get a good game from Tatum and Brown at the same time. And I think they'll take this game.
That's true. They haven't had the same game. They haven't had a good team together in this whole playoff. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's the only thing. That's the only pushback I give you, Jermaine. I understand your logic when you talk about the best duos, but I feel like the best duos in the league complement each other so well. Whereas it being efficient jump shooters where they can kick it out and you know that he can make a good shot, or they can play directly with each other. Whereas like a big and a guard where they can run a pick and roll together, or like if you got Draymond and Curry, like they got great synergy. Not Draymond isn't as good as a player of Tatum and Brown, but them, you know how they work together pretty much. That's kind of how I look at it. But
Jaylen Brown just lost the ball again with his handles.
Well, there you go.
Maybe my prediction wrong. But hey man, I really appreciate y'all pulling up, man. This was fun as fuck. Make sure y'all, if y'all tuning in, like the video for us. Follow us on Instagram at Double Dribble Pod and Lakers and 7.
Shout out to Duncan Robinson for making it back onto the NBA rotation. Because man, this man his career was about to be over with.
Lakers and 7, baby. It ain't over yet. It ain't over till the fat lady sings.
Yeah, it's not over till it's over.
She back there singing though.
Yeah, she getting ready.
They better win game 4, man. They better win game 4.
And
please don't get swept. Please don't get swept.
I want that for even though he's not in his prime anymore. I don't want that for Braun legacy. Even though he's not in his prime no more, I don't think it should count. But you already know the nasty narratives.
Yeah, but
another sweep. Man, I
already know how it's gonna look, bro. I already know how it's gonna look.
You got swept by a fat man? Crazy. That's the narrative.
Especially if LeBron doesn't have a good game 4 and like they win, they're definitely gonna.
I don't know. Let me let y'all close the show out. My fault.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all.
All right.